When we made the transition from loops to a microscope, we found that we had a lot clearer view of what we're doing, a lot closer view of what we're doing. Taking that close a look with the microscope, I found that even if I've worked with somebody and we've gone over an occlusion on a crown when I had loops on, when I get it back to look at it under a microscope, it looks totally different to me, and I see a lot of different things that I missed with just wearing the loops. Being able to take pictures of what we're seeing, we can teach our technicians more and show them what we're seeing so that they can make adjustments at their bench. I think the microscope is probably too close and the color isn't right for doing shade issues, things like that. Occlusal issues, contact issues, fit issues is probably the biggest thing you can do with it. And if we're getting all of our crowns down to microscopic specifications, then that's just that much less that the doctor has to worry about. Contacts or anything close to the tissue, I like to have perfectly smooth, and this is what I noticed that it has a rough contact area here, and that's just going to collect plaque, and I'd rather have that very nice and smooth and polished. So I saved the picture so I could talk to the technicians about that. And the whole thing is, if we can save a remake and save him a remake, it saves everybody time and money.
What are you going to see? What is it going to catch? What is it going to give you, do for the case long term?
Well, you can see on here there's a pull in the impression. It's an area that he may have stopped and started the wash, or it could have been a lot of different things, I guess. We have a dentist on staff here that helps us analyze issues like this, and we find the problems, and then his job is to go out and help doctors learn from the past and get better in the future.
If you correct this, what happens?
Well, there's less chance of micro leakage, there's less chance of decay. The crown is most likely going to last longer, and it's just going to be better for the patient's oral health and overall health. This microscope isn't something we'd be able to look at all the cases with. This is something where if we see an issue, we can use this to take some pictures to communicate with our clients or with our technicians. But the communication is so important that we felt it was worth the investment to come up with something like this to get our point across to everybody. In the future, people will be doing more and more digital scanning instead of sending impressions like this. As the information gets more accurate, it's just more important to be able to communicate better, and this is just one of the tools that we can use to do that. The way I'm looking at using it is when I'm checking out work, if I see a problem with something, I can bring it over to this microscope and share what I'm seeing with other people. But it could be used anytime. If we're having issues with something in metal, we could bring it over and show people then, or if we're having issues with fitting zirconia, or maybe looking for microchecks, we could use it just about any time. Doing it on a computer screen is just a lot easier than trying to explain where it is and then give them the microscope and try and have them find it again. You know, we could put it up on a screen and I can show them exactly what I'm talking about. And we can do that before it gets to the point where we're putting porcelain on. And we can all sit down and talk about it and find out what the problems are and figure out how to fix them.
What is the problem with that?
Even with 10 power loops, or 7 to 10 power loops, you probably wouldn't notice it. But when you're looking at it under a microscope, it's pretty apparent. And if we can find ways to fix microscopic issues like this, then the final restorations we're putting out to dentists is just better all around.